Hello, Oxford Street players. This is my friend Maura Harrigan.
And this is my friend Sharon Romeo.
And we were together as Sal and Saul in the Merchants of Venice in spring of '93.
Yes, yes. I was Sal, Sharon was Saul. We had our fedoras, our little suits, our mustaches, our fake mustaches.
Smoking cigars.
Yeah.
The play was set in the 20s in Venice, and we had a blast.
We did. We were just talking about
the play, right?
Yeah. Yep. We were just saying that our favorite scene was up in the balcony where we were chit-chatting, and there was a line we had to say together, and we had we had cigars. They were real but not lit, and we're chit-chatting on the balcony, spotlight on us, and we say,
his
stones, his daughter,
and his ducats.
And the crowd went wild, and we got all flustered. We weren't expecting a roar of laughter and applause. So we kind of had to settle in, and then we had to run outside to get backstage again, and we were so excited.
Right, I know. We were like giddy. It was so much fun.
It was.
So that was our first Shakespeare experience. And then the following year, we did The Merry Wives of Windsor. I just drew a blank on my character's name. What was his name?
I know, I was Pistol, and you were...
I can't think of his name.
Was it Edward?
No.
No, what was his name?
I can't remember. Hopefully it'll come to me.
You will remember, hopefully.
I can't remember, but my favorite scene was my wife was Saskia. That was her real name, not her name in the play. And she was in a wheelchair, and she got to get up and dance with me on stage. And I remember her saying it was the first time she got to dance on stage, and it was really, really exciting and so much fun. So that's my favorite memory from that play.
That's good. That's good. My favorite, I was Pistol, and I had a bar scene with Riz, who was Flagstaff. And it was just such a fun scene. I learned so much about acting being in that scene with Riz. And it was just kind of a fun, bantering, just the two of us on the stage at a bar. And it was really fun. The whole scene, we ended that with a swing dance, I think, at the end. And Johanna, I forget her name in the play, Mrs. Oh, we're really bad with
French maid.
Yeah. I think we got married at the end, or we were actually, together
right.
dancing. So yeah, and I had partner in crimes in that one too. So we had such a great time, every second of it. And I think, Annie, we owe it to you, our sweet doctor, for bringing Shakespeare to life for us, and really having such an impact on us. Sharon and I texted today, and it took us each 2 minutes to find our Merchants of Venice shirts and Merry Wives of Windsor. So thank you, Annie. Thank you, Oxford Street players, everybody involved in it. It was just an amazing, incredible experience.
Yep, we loved it. And I would love to bring another group of students like we did a few years ago from my school in Chelsea.
I forgot I did that with you. Really fun. That was so fun.
I know. I would love to bring them again. And actually, one of my former students is now an undergrad at Lesley, which makes me so happy. So I keep telling her she's got to look out for you, Annie, so she can be in your class. So congratulations on 25 years. And we can't wait.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
Keep the play going, and we'll come back. We would love to see more.
We sure will. Bye.
Bye. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hi, Annie. Jen Mann Harlacher here, class of '93. I came to be in the Oxford Street Players because I took your Shakespeare class my senior year and felt so fortunate to be part of the production. We did The Merchant of Venice, and it was a lot of fun. Made great new friends, enjoyed every aspect of it. I would have to say right now I'm currently a preschool teacher, as well as I have my own online boutique. And the experience of being in the Oxford Street Players and just the improvisation and my big role as a jailer taught me to just kind of go with the flow and have fun and it was a wonderful experience. Very grateful to have been a part of it and be in your class.
Hi, my name is Johanna Mabry, formerly Johanna Goodman, and I was at Lesley College from 1990 to 1994. I was involved in the Oxford Street Players for the production of The Merry Wives of Windsor, and I was Mistress Quickly. My friends and I were on campus, and we were just walking around and saw flyers for auditions, and we thought, hey, let's do it. Why not? So sure enough, we both got roles, and we became part of a wonderful family of individuals who just dug deep into this exploration of theatrics on Lesley's campus. It's full of memories for me that I just can't even list. But being part of the Oxford Street Players has totally changed my life in ways that are pretty endless. When I left Lesley, I went on to graduate school at University of Pennsylvania, and I got my master's in social work. And then I went on to Wayne State University in Detroit and got my master's in art therapy, which was what my specialization was at Lesley. And when I moved out here, I remembered, like, what was so great about Oxford Street Players was that I could be part of this theatrical community that I was a part of in middle school and high school. And I thought when I went away to college, if I wasn't going to major in drama, like, I wasn't going to be able to find a home in drama. And I did, and it was fabulous. And it reminded me to never, ever let go of parts of yourself just because you're starting a new path in your life, that you can weave together all your interests and everything that speaks to you. And so when I graduated and went out as a working professional, I really wanted to keep drama in my life. So I auditioned for a local theater troupe here in Michigan, and I got my first equity show, which was super exciting. And then I went on to do children's theater, doing sexual abuse prevention work, doing a show that taught children in public schools about safe and unsafe touch, or good and bad touch. So I was really able to weave together my social work training and my dramatic interests to help people near and far. So I love that. And then in my life, on a whole, drama really stays true to my heart. I've been through some really tough times, and staying playful and remembering how to tap into parts of yourself, those different hats that you may wear in life are really different roles, and being able to embrace those roles is so helpful. And now I have 3 kids, and have used drama with them in many different ways to just have fun times and bring levity to difficult situations. So I'm really excited to hear what everyone else is going to share about, and I can't wait to see everybody, and I'm so excited. Thanks for including me.
Hi, Annie. Congratulations on the 25th anniversary of OSP. I am honored to have been a part of it. I joined The Merry Wives of Windsor, which I think was a production in 1994, and it was the most amazing experience being part of the cast and crew. I joined it because I love you, because I knew you were directing it, and because obviously I do love drama as well. So yeah. One of the most memorable experiences for me was when on the second night of performance, I had to give my dialogue delivery, but I was so zoned out because my role was that of Simple, the servant. And my master could tell, like, we were in tune, and he could tell that I had zoned out. I was spaced out. So before I could look like I had forgotten my line, he had to give me a slap. And the slap was not a light one like the night before. It was a tight one that really woke me up. And I appreciate that from him, because then I was able to give the dialogue delivery on time. So that was a memorable experience. What I learned from being part of the cast and crew of Merry Wives of Windsor was that it opened up my worldview, because I was born and raised in Japan, which has a very, very conservative culture. So I was not exposed to a lot of things. But thanks to you, I learned how to work with people with physical challenges, or with the LGBT community, people who had anxiety or depression. And having this open mind has made me a better yoga instructor and a better college lecturer. At the moment, I live in Hong Kong. So see how your values have gone full circle, right? From one end of the world to another. So thank you so much for that. I also learned that Shakespeare's values can be applied till today with the age and era of today. So I didn't know that until I acted in the play. So thank you for that as well. Congratulations again, and all the best.
I was introduced to the Oxford Street Players, the OSP, back my freshman year in 94 and 95. Um, I did it with one of my best friends, and it was 12th night. um, we were kind of in the background orchestra, and I was playing my flute, and she was playing the clarinet. And ever since then, gosh, I think it was for 5 years from that year, I was involved in one form or another. For the years following that, I actually was the company manager and helped grab advertising revenue. And then my 5th year, I actually was back in the play and did All's Well That Ends Well. Remember it being memorable because I had a speaking part. I was the widow, and it was an amazing experience. How it has helped me in my current work, um, being on screen has, or on stage, I should say, has totally helped with my presence and my confidence. Um, and the business aspect of it actually helped me out in some volunteer work and in my everyday work. It was an amazing experience. I totally encourage everybody to do it, and I can't believe it's been around for 25 years.
So I was in the Oxford Street Players production of Shakespeare's The Twelfth Night 25 years ago in 1995. I was 18 years old and a freshman at Lesley College. Annie Pluto was my creative writing professor at the time. Someone, I can't remember who now, asked me to go with them to the audition, and I decided to try out, thinking maybe I'd get a minor role. After the auditions, Annie Pluto came up to me and asked me if I'd like to play the role of Viola. I said yes. I had a shaved head at the time, I remember, and she asked me if I'd be willing to grow it out so I'd look more like my twin in the play, Sebastian, who had longish dark hair. It didn't end up growing out in time, so I wore a bobbed wig during the play. Back then, Lesley College was an all-female, was an all-women's college, so the cast was all women with the exception of Malvolio, Count Orsino, and Sebastian. Our production of The Twelfth Night was reimagined to be set in the 1970s, and we were all either punks or discos. There was a lot of bonding during practice, a lot of laughter and tears, group massage, vocal warm-ups, improv exercises. The most memorable scene for me in the play was Malvolio bound to the chair on the dark stage, illuminated on the dark stage, and crying out in anguish and with a lot of raw emotion, quickly switching from being a comedic character to a tragic one. I remember the play ends, my identity is revealed as Viola, and I come out in a taffeted dress, and we're all dancing across the stage. That was my first and only acting experience, although I spent many years on the stage in a band called Effie Briest in New York and in a few European tours. Now, currently, I live in upstate New York and have an antique store with my partner. But these days, mostly I'm a stay-at-home mom dealing with remote learning. Who knows what the future holds? I would like to act again. We'll see.
Hi, I'm Charles Linshaw, and I was the voice and speech coach for 5 shows: Macbeth, Cymbeline, Two Noble Kinsmen, As You Like It, and Antony and Cleopatra. And I really enjoyed collaborating on those shows. There was the joy of sharing the Linklater work with the actors, the joy of seeing those actors discover the power of their own voices, the joy of getting to work with actors on numerous shows because people kept on coming back. And there was, of course, the infamous tongue stretch. If you did it, you won't forget. And then there was always the magic of watching the actors walk onto Terry's magnificent sets and perform. So thank you for letting me be a part of that. And congratulations on 25 years. That is a momentous achievement. So happy anniversary and congratulations.
So my work with Oxford Street Players really kicked off a lifetime of theater work that I have basically not stopped doing since that time. Annie brought me back into theater after studying it in college, and I hadn't performed for several years, but her invitation to participate really got me more engaged in performing, and I've gone on to do so much more theater as an actor, director, producer. I started my own theater company, and it's always been such an important part of my life. And I'm grateful to Annie and everyone at Leslie for the great work that Oxford Street Players does. So I have several fond memories of working with Oxford Street Players. I think my favorite production was definitely Dr. Faustus, and one of my favorite memories was working with Don McQuillan, who forgot his shirt. He forgot his suit jacket in one of the scenes, so he came out as the King of Hungary in just a short sleeve dress shirt, and it was very, very funny scene. We had a lot of fun with a great cast on that show, and I have a lot of great memories working with a great group of actors. So I got involved with Oxford Street Players back in, I guess, the early 2000s. I met Annie through my work at Boston Ballet, and they were doing a production of Dr. Faustus, looking for a male actor, and it was a wonderful experience. That was my first time working with the group, and I went on to do several other plays with Annie, and I also had an opportunity to direct some plays as well.
Hi, my name is Donald McQuillan, and I was an Oxford Street player from about 2002 to 2004. In that time, I was in, I guess chronologically, this would be Faustus, where I played Cornelius, and The Sin of Gluttony, among another small part. I was in Henry V as Suffolk, and then I was in the Laramie Project as Doc, and I think some other smaller characters. Fond memories of playing Gluttony and having this string necklace of cured sausage. Not everybody was crazy about that, especially since, I had it for about 4 nights in a row, kind of stalked behind stage, stashed. And Pluto's direction and warmth was always very valuable and treasured. Kevin Carr, when he directed the Laramie Project, he and I had hung out one night, and well, he was, early for the production the next day. I showed up 5 minutes before. I was usually punctual for the Oxford Street Players or the plays because I worked at Leslie University in the School of Management and the School of Education, so it was right down the street from me, and I was done with work anyways when we usually had rehearsals, so that wasn't difficult to be punctual for. But on this particular night, I think it was the closing night of Laramie Project, or the second to closing night, or the closing night, and usually as professionalism or amateur professionalism would dictate, you show up couple hours before the production, but I was about 20 minutes before showtime, and I did get there. Just had a rough long night. Anyways, so yeah, and Pluto, Kevin Carr, and a lot of the students at Leslie at that time made it a great experience. And I wish everyone well and happy anniversary, Oxford Street Players.
Hey everyone, and happy anniversary to the OSP. My name is Greg Morayo, and I graduated from the Art Institute of Boston at Leslie University in 2003. My senior year of college, the Art Institute merged with Leslie, and the students were offered all of these new and exciting electives to take. And I remember looking at the list and seeing Shakespeare, Shakespeare study class with Annie Pluto. And I remember thinking, I'd taken Shakespeare in high school and I really liked it, so why not, take this class? It sounded like fun. And I remember the first day of class, Annie was sort of, surveying the room and, taking attendance. And she got to me and she could tell I was a little shy and, a little nervous. And she said, would you like to be in the production we're doing in conjunction with this class that we do every spring? And I remember thinking, yeah, sure, why not? That sounded like fun. So I was then cast in the pivotal role of the Duke of Exeter in Henry VI, Part 1. And that moment there really just changed the course of my life, because as soon as we started rehearsing and talking about character and studying the script, I really did fall in love with theater and the whole process of it. And I was constantly amazed at how challenging it was, and how interesting it was to sort of dive into this and learn about the theater and everything that it entailed, backstage, on stage. And it really, really, really fascinated me. And I remember Annie, she came up to me and she said, you seem to really, really love this. And it seems to be something that you're passionate about, and you're good at it. And she told me that I should pursue this. And it was the nudge that I needed to really jump in with both feet and pursue something that I really, really loved. And and I'm forever grateful for that, because my life has been filled with theater since that moment. And I was lucky enough to come back to Leslie, to the Marin Theater stage for the production of The Rover, which they did the year after I graduated, and I played Blunt. And I was lucky enough, as some of us from the OSP were, to be able to wear an outfit which was lovingly called the Cupcake, because it was this frilly sort of pastel nightmare that was just so hideously wonderful. And I'll never forget wearing that. And I came back to the Marin stage to do the Glass Menagerie and then the Laramie Project, and those were also wonderful experiences. Uh, and now I'm a member of the Actors Union. I have been for a while. I've traveled all over the country doing plays, and I really, really, really have Annie and the OSP to thank for that, because they really did give me the love and the confidence I needed to pursue this. And I still love theater with all my heart. It's where my passion lies, and I thank Annie for that, and the OSP, and I am more than ready to come back to the OSP and put on that Cupcake and dive right in and do whatever we need to do, as long as we get the Cupcake back on the stage. And happy anniversary to the OSP, and so much love to Annie for helping me find a true love in my life. Thank you.
Hi, Annie. Congratulations on 25 years of OSP.
We are so glad that we can kind of sort of be there with you virtually to help you celebrate.
I got involved with Oxford Street Players immediately, pretty much. I started in Much Ado About Nothing in my first year, and then Merry Wives of Windsor, Texas after that, and Merchant of Venice after that.
Annie recruited me my junior year to help choreograph the square dancing in Merry Wives of Windsor, Texas, when she found out that I knew how to square dance. So I was recruited, and then I was also recruited when she needed more bar wenches on the stage to be a bar wench. And then the following year for the Merchant of Venice, I did some choreography, but I also was primarily the stage director.
In terms of fondest memories for me, they mostly revolve around Merry Wives of Windsor, Texas, because not only was that where I got close with this one, and I also got to just play a complete dirtbag and find new and exciting and fun ways to be that dirtbag and mess with people in the cast as I did it, which was super fun. My hair actually has also not been this long since I played Falstaff, so that's a fun fact.
I have a lot of fun memories, mostly the camaraderie overall. I obviously enjoyed all the music and dancing, and again, getting closer to him during Merry Wives of Windsor. But I also have some strangely fun memories of Merchant of Venice yelling at people when, as a stage manager, I knew their lines better than they did.
In terms of how OSP figures into what I'm doing now, I'm working on writing, and one of the best things about the rehearsal process in OSP for me was just trying new things and taking risks and seeing where things led and having kind of the courage to try that. And that's something that I take with me in writing and in life and everywhere I go.
And on top of that, because I do resonate with some of those things, though I'm not currently writing, also just I have been teaching. I have taught Shakespeare quite a bit. And I have also, though not currently this year, been involved as the assistant director for multiple plays at some of the schools that I've worked at. So yeah. So congratulations. We're so happy that it has made it 25 years, and hopefully it keeps going.
Absolutely. Thanks again.
Hello, my name is Lou. I am a graduate from Lesley University's Expressive Therapy graduate program. I graduated in 2008. In my time at Lesley, I had the privilege of overlapping with Dr. Annie Pluto and the Oxford Street Players. I first got involved with them, I believe in 2007, if I remember correctly. And this was in a production of The Merry Wives of Windsor, which they adapted to be a Western musical. I saw the posting when I was walking through campus one day during my grad school experience and thought to give it a try. And after that, I got more involved with the Oxford Street Players as both an actor and as well as a graduate assistant for Dr. Pluto. The productions that I was in included that show in 2007, Anthony and Cleopatra in 2013, and Macbeth in 2019. I think some of my favorite memories was just getting to know Dr. Pluto and her husband Terry, who helped with various parts of tech for the productions, as well as getting to spend time as a student learning acting in another context, as well as spending time with other other students and alumni over the years of being in shows or graphic designing, etc. I think what I take away from my time with the Oxford Street Players and at Lesley through Dr. Pluto was just as an expressive therapist. Currently, I practice in the community doing individual therapy. I take away the creativity, the spontaneity that this program provided me to help me expand my skills as a graphic designer, to help bolster additional skills as an actor, an artist, just to be able to play and to be spontaneous. I also had the privilege of doing Linklater voice training primarily through the productions, and that was also a great experience. And I brought in the facets of that work into working with clients in a group therapy setting, and then also bringing it into my individual practice. So just wanted to say to Dr. Pluto, thank you for the opportunity to work with the OSP, and I hope to work with you in the future.
Happy 25th anniversary, Oxford Street Players. My name is Mutiat Lawal, and I was involved in the spring 2014 production of As You Like It. I played Duke Frederick, aka Duchess Frederica, and it was an amazing experience. I remember like yesterday bringing my 2.5-year-old son to rehearsals. He is now 9. And also on the weekends, we had rehearsals with our movement coach, and it was just a really fun time. I was a transfer student to Leslie, so the Oxford Street Players were like a second family to me, and they really helped me integrate into the Leslie University community. I think Annie was a great professor and a great director of all our plays. It was just a great and fantastic time, and I wouldn't have traded that for the world. Currently, I work as an attorney in Minnesota. So in my first few weeks of training as an attorney, they told us that the courtroom was pretty much a theater. The jury was our audience. So we had a lot of exercises learning how to project our voices and learning how to work the courtroom. So movement pretty much. So I'm forever grateful for the training that I had during my time with the Oxford Street Players. And I would like to say thank you again to Annie, and thank you to all the students who participate, because it's not easy going to school full-time or part-time, and then also having extracurriculars. So it was a fantastic time, and I'm very happy that I did spend some time with the Oxford Street Players. It's on my resume now, and it's a great thing to bring up during job interviews, and people seem to share my joy when I tell them how much I love Shakespeare. So thank you all for continuing this, and it was a great experience, and I'm happy that I was a part of.
Hey everyone, my name's Cassidy. I'm a Leslie and OSP alumni. I graduated in May 2019 with a bachelor's in expressive arts therapy and a minor in music. And I was lucky enough to be in 3 OSP productions during my time. In 2016, I was in Two Noble Kinsmen, and I played Perithus. 2017, I was in Cymbeline, and I played Philario with some other small characters. And in 2019, I was in the Scottish play, otherwise known as Macbeth. I have so many memories of OSP and so many amazing moments that I miss a lot, and I miss being able to see everyone in person. I think one of the coolest things for me when I think about my time in OSP would be remembering how I was my freshman year when we did Two Noble Kinsmen versus how I was senior year when we did Macbeth. Freshman year, I was very, very anxious. And for anyone who's watching this who doesn't know me, I actually have really severe performance anxiety. I have anxiety in general, but I have pretty severe performance anxiety. And I took this class to challenge myself and, maybe try to find some other people who are also interested in theater and Shakespeare. And I definitely found a lot of that. And I just remember walking in, and I sat in the very back of Marin with my backpack, and I was too nervous to talk to anybody because I didn't really know anyone in that class who I felt like I could just walk up to and like say hi to them. And I'd get on stage and I'd like if this is my script, I'd be like, Yup, here's my lines. And it took a little while for me to get comfortable enough to like look out into the audience and have any sense of confidence. The moment that changed things for me, and Annie will attest to this, we talk about it all the time, is we were going through a box in one of the closets and we found a bunch of crowns. And since my character was a prince, she gave me one, and I put it on and wore it on stage. And she said that was the first time that she saw me as like my character, and that was the first time that she saw me as like this confident actor and not just an anxious college student who was on a stage and reading out of a book. And so I just tried to really harness that feeling of what it was like to have the crown on and feel like you're stepping into your character. It helped me to feel more in character. And then, senior year, my character delivered this speech towards the end of the show. I was essentially commanding an army, and I was saying, we're going to go to Burnham Wood, and we're going to fight, and we're going to win, and join me, let's go do this. And to get up on stage and to have the stage to myself and deliver a speech like that was terrifying to me, but so rewarding. And it let me prove to myself that I could do it. I memorized the whole speech, which I also struggled a little bit with, but I did it. And getting up on stage and doing it was the hardest part. And I remember I would feel really nervous up until the light turned on. Once the light turned on and it hit my face, I just delivered the words. And as the words came out, my worry went away and I was able to deliver my speech and, really feel more confident. Like, I was looking around the audience and I was really like, there's a big change. And I definitely wouldn't have been able to do anything like that if it wasn't for OSP. I have so many amazing memories there. I've met so many great people. One of my best friends I actually met in OSP, and we bonded over the fact that we both wanted to write the music for a song that was in the script. And, 4 years later, we're still friends. We still do music together. So, OSP's brought a lot of really amazing people into my life. And it's brought me closer with some people. One of my other friends I introduced to OSP, and she ended up being our stage manager for Macbeth. So OSP's definitely brought a lot of really amazing things into my life and a lot of really amazing people. And I'm so incredibly thankful for the time that I got to be there and for the experiences I've had. And I can't wait for things to open up again and for us to be able to safely do Shakespeare and have sword fights in person again. So thank you, Annie, for asking me to be part of this project. I really appreciate it. And if you're watching this, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Hello. My experience with OSP was amazing for 4 times in maybe 10 years in different times. Thanks to Annie Pluto, one of my best friends in the world. I had the best experience as a choreographer to work with an amazing group, an amazing person as Annie, with a visionary look into the modernism of Shakespeare, if you can put it that way. Congratulations, OSP. You deserve Annie, and you deserve whatever it will come in the future. All the best.
Hi everyone, my name is Alice Bloomer. I was a member of OSP for the 4 years I was at Leslie. They were the best times of my life at Leslie. I met friends who I'm still in touch with today. It set me on the career path that I eventually went down. I went to drama school after that. And it took a passion. Annie specifically took a passion that I had for Shakespeare already and just ignited it into a fully glowing fire that still drives my every day today. I now live and breathe for Shakespeare. I did small parts, big parts. I helped with the crew. I helped with anything that I could, anything to be involved in the OSP. It really was my safe haven whenever things weren't going right at Leslie. Those days when you're like, life is so stressful, it's college. I could go to a rehearsal and just leave everything at the door and play. OSP provided almost a drama school level of education for acting with the voice training she gave, the movement training she gave us. Annie gave us fight workshops. She gave us dance workshops. She gave us Linklater vocal training. All this stuff that I then built on when I went to drama school, but I had already had that foundation that I learned from Annie. I remember sitting backstage trying to keep quiet in the middle of productions when we were all giggling at something that happened. I remember our first year, somebody couldn't remember his lines in Measure for Measure, and instead of saying something like a pox or your face or something. A pox or your throat was the line, I believe. And he said, a pox on your stupid face. That same production, somebody's cell phone went off on stage, and the rest of us were backstage absolutely mad with laughter. The people I met there worked on the production I just finished working on. Ben Bacco just edited a production that I produced and created of Cymbeline. So thanks, Annie, for all of that. I cannot express enough how meaningful my time at Oxford Street Players was. I don't think I would be the person I am today without it. It brought me so much joy and so much life. I can't imagine my life without it. Thank you, Annie, and thank you, Oxford Street Players, for everything you gave me.